Welcome back to another edition of Weathering the Storm. We'll continue our exploration of the Barbados Meteorological Services, focusing on the technological advancements that has revolutionized their forecasting capabilities and enhanced their vital work. First, we'll spotlight an individual whose presence has captivated the BMS social media audience over recent months, Francois Carvalho.
My whole job is to help relay information to the public. So while meteorology can be fairly complicated, it's science, it's math, it's atmospheric physics. We're talking about fluid dynamics, we're talking about thermodynamics. What my job is to take all of that from the other meteorologists and relay it in a way that is easily understood and that persons can equate it to their daily life.
We explored the feedback he's received so far and his thoughts on earning the nickname Baby Sabu.
The feedback has been good. Persons like the video format, of course, because it's more easily digestible than having to sit down and read through PDF, let's say. And also, it helps to have a face associated with certain things. You can relate to it. Yeah, I think it's overall, again, more digestible.
And some have even been calling you Baby Sabu. How does this make you feel?
I'm honored, actually. I quite like it. Ironically, I don't think I look like Sabu, but I'm assuming what they're seeing is more that passion and energy for meteorology and for the field and for, the general Barbadian public. So I like it, actually.
He provided insights into how the BMS plans to enhance its communication approach for this hurricane season.
What we're looking to do this hurricane season that's a little more interesting, we're actually currently able to live stream, and the plan is that when such event may occur, that we would go live, persons would know when, we'd obviously announce it beforehand, and we would do hourly or so updates so that persons can keep getting that constant information, know what's going on, ease anxieties, because people fear when they don't know stuff. So we want to keep a constant line of communication with the public.
Naturally, before any information reaches the public, the team relies on various tools to collect the critical data.
We are currently here in our instrument enclosure at our location in Charnock's Christchurch. So right next to me is a 3D printed automatic weather station. So we use a lot of these instruments across the island to get a better understanding of the meteorological conditions, the temperature, the winds, the humidity, the pressure, etc. So these 3D printed automatic weather stations are actually manufactured and built here at the BMS using 3D printers. So this here is basically a radiation shield, which you would have your sensors to give you the air temperature and humidity, etc. It's fully solar powered, so it's off the grid. So these can be in remote locations across the island.
Samelka elaborated on how cost-effective solutions have enabled their wide-reaching operations.
This is a low-budget project, so there are commercial-grade automatic weather stations which cost thousands of dollars. We're able to produce them at a lower cost. So we actually have about 90 across the island. So there are various locations from St. Lucie straight down to St. Philip and Christchurch.
In recent times, the BMS has expanded its operations to better serve marine environments.
For the marine space now, as it relates to meteorology and the marine, we have been expanding that significantly. So within the last 3 years, we started with our unmanned surface vehicles, which we call Autonauts. So they go out and they get a picture of what's happening with the sea swells, and especially when a system is approaching, we can take them up to 400 kilometers, was the furthest that we've taken them so far, to the east of Barbados, to get a feel for what those sea conditions are. The sea generally starts to feel the impacts of a tropical cyclone first, and that is then kind of like verification on what the forecast wild conditions could be once the system is in our area. And that is very helpful to the marine users in understanding what they may need to do to prepare before a system.
Continuing in the marine sphere, they also use specialized buoys as essential tools.
What we have is actually a buoy, a water buoy, from a company overseas called So Far. So what I'm going to do real quickly, I'm just go through the different pieces and then bring it all together as to what it does. Okay, first of all, we have the buoy, the actual buoy, the heart of the whole of everything. This measures sea surface temperature, wind speed, wind direction, among others. Going down next, we have a temperature node. This sits about roughly 4 meters below the surface of the water, and it measures the water temperature. This one is simply just an inline float that keeps our current meter, which sits about 7 or so meters under the water, to measure our different currents here and there in our marine environment. Also, we have a spotter at the top that keeps everything afloat. We currently have about 4 of these deployed around the island, well, mostly to the west of the island. We have 30 in all, and from now we hope to have all of them deployed around the island.
He gave us a glimpse into what it's like during deployment of these buoys.
For us, and not just me, it's a team of us that goes out. We actually had, different experiences. Sometimes we deploy in nice sunny conditions. Sometimes a little more challenging, but it's all a learning experience for us. And we all learn together, and we get it deployed effectively.
And that's a wrap on this episode. Special thanks to the Barbados Met Services for keeping our island prepared and protected. And we'll see you next time on another edition of Weathering the Storm.